Hi, Cancer. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for October 2019. For you this month, Cancer, the themes begin with this period of introversion that you've been in since last month, and you're going to get ready to party as the month moves on, and a lot of these planets that are in your fourth house shift on into your fifth house. And especially, I think that the relationship arena might light up a little bit.
Ooh.
Julia, what do you think about all this?
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, Cancer. Let me first start off by talking about Mercury, which, as we know, is the planet of communication, the planet of thought. And it's going to be entering your fifth house on the 2nd of this month. So it's basically in there the full month. And the fifth house is definitely the most fun and expressive house in the whole zodiac. In terms of self expression, you might be communicating in a bit more dramatic and theatrical ways and really trying to get yourself across to others in how you communicate. And since the fifth house is also the house of games, if you play any type of mental games like computer games or crossword puzzles, or if you love trivia nights, it's going to be a really sort of fun and fruitful and stimulating period for that.
That's wonderful.
Then Mars is also going to be moving into your fourth house on the 3rd of the month. And the fourth house is totally different. It's not so much going out and partying like the fifth house, but kind of it's a more internal house because it's the house of family and it's the house of home. And wherever we have Mars is where we find our drive. It's where we apply ourselves more. So you might be putting out more energy on the home front. Mars can also bring some conflicts wherever it is in our chart. So be mindful of getting into any disputes with family or housemates. And the best thing you can do is just to try to divert that martial energy into something a bit more constructive by busying yourself with like home projects and things of that nature. And the last planet I want to talk about is Venus. And she's going to be entering the fifth house on October 8th. And Venus, the planet of love, relationship, beauty, she loves to be in this house. In fact, ancient astrologers said it was the house of her joy. So she tends to kind of get along really well in that arena. So it's a really great time if you're already partnered to sort of go out with your boo and hit the town. And, the fifth house is very extroverted. It likes to kind of go out and have fun, maybe in clubs, maybe in casinos. And if you're single, then you're going to get a little extra boost of luck in dating now, too. What else are you seeing this month, Jamie? Aren't you going to tell us about the moons too?
I am. And I'm just thinking about the fifth house and why it is that Scorpio is fifth house from Cancer.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
what that means, because the fifth house is so like big and expressive, and Scorpio is so private, but Cancer is private too. And really, I think why Scorpio is so enjoyable for Cancer is really because there's so much passion there. Cancer is all about feelings.
Yeah.
It's very intuitive, it's very nurturing, it's very caring. Cancer feels things keenly, and so Scorpio occurs like a party for Cancer. And just think about all those feelings that you could investigate inside the other person or inside yourself. It's like, it's a really good time for Cancer.
Yeah, and both signs, I feel like Cancer and Scorpio, they both really like commitment a lot too. So for Cancer, a Scorpionic commitment is a party.
Yeah, because that person is going to stick around.
So they're able to open up a little bit more.
They take loyalty very seriously, and you can count on that. So, so that's pretty awesome. The sun, there's a full moon coming here on the 13th, and there it is. Sun in Libra in the fourth house opposed that moon up in the 10th house there in Aries. And so this is going to give you a little extra special burst of career energy and attention here right in the middle of the month. Just when you were like, leaving the house in a good shape and moving out into like the party scene, somehow in the middle of this month, boom, there's this career vibe going on right around the 13th. So the 12th to the 14th, there's this like rocket-like burst of energy and career. And you might feel like pretty darned ambitious right there around the full moon. So that's an interesting sort of a different vibe to throw in there. And then as the month moves on, Mercury's going to enter its shadow period on the 20th. Now, what the heck is a shadow period? It has to do with the fact that Mercury is going to turn retrograde at the end of the month on the 31st. The shadow period is about the last week before Mercury turns retrograde, when Mercury is slowing down. And it's a time to really start getting ready for that retrograde period. And that retrograde period is going to be in Scorpio the whole time in your fifth house. So it's going to be a really good time to think deeply and communicate deeply. And especially, I think it's going to impact you in your creativity, Cancer. So we'll talk about that next month, though. So you'll want to tune into next month's horoscope to find out a lot more about that. And we have a video about the shadow period of Mercury in our October news playlist on YouTube. So that will give you a little more information about Mercury. But I want to say that a couple days after that, the sun moves into Scorpio, which again lights up that fifth house. And so if you haven't partied by then, you're probably going to want to. And really, for you, Cancer, it's not about big parties. It's not about clubs necessarily where you can meet a whole bunch of strangers, because you might not be the social butterfly type, and that's okay. You know, if it's just a double date with somebody who knows you, that was somebody picked out by somebody who knows you well, or if you got a really good feeling about that person you swiped right about and you want to meet up with them for coffee, this is a really good month to act on those impulses. I do recommend it, but be prepared to have fun and not necessarily commit until a little bit more time, you know, a little more water under the bridge.
Cancer needs a little bit of time too.
That's
I
your
think.
style.
You're not going to just rush into anything.
Yeah. So then the month moves on, and there is a new moon in Scorpio right here on the 27th, and just lighting up that fifth house even more. And this is really where this is the house of creativity as well. It's called the house of creation, recreation, and procreation. So creative process and product, which includes children, actually. So work on that contraception this month, Cancer. I'm looking at you. This is me looking at you. Got it? Okay. Creative product can also really happen productively this month. So if you have creative projects that you're wanting to start, this new moon right around the 27th, so the 26th to the 28th, is the best time for you to plant those seeds. And then Mercury slides right on into its retrograde period there on the 31st. And that's all the news of the month of October for you, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out our horoscopes on pandoraastrology.com/horoscope. Always check out our YouTube channel for horoscopes and monthly news. And we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.